25 years is a long time in any industry, but in performance cars, it represents something more specific: a body of work, a set of expectations, a relationship between a badge and the people who've cared about it. Volkswagen's R division has spent those 25 years building exactly that kind of relationship with the Golf. And the way the company has chosen to mark the anniversary says quite a lot about where its priorities sit. Not a limited edition road car with special paint and embroidery. A racing program at the Nürburgring. A proper one. The Golf R24H is the physical expression of that decision. Volkswagen confirmed that a dedicated race-built Golf R will compete in the 2027 Nürburgring 24 Hours, developed in partnership with Max Cruise Racing and engineered specifically for the particular brutality of the Nordschleife. The show car that's been revealed gives a strong indication of where the final competition vehicle is heading, and the direction is unambiguous. This is not a lightly modified hatchback with a roll cage fitted. It's a ground-up endurance racing machine that happens to share a name and a lineage with one of the world's best-known performance hatchbacks. The visual transformation is dramatic enough that it's worth dwelling on. The aerodynamic package fitted to the show car is extensive by any measure. A massive front splitter, widened wheel arches that add substantial track width, aggressive side skirts, a deep rear diffuser, and a rear wing of a size that simply doesn't belong in the vocabulary of production golf design. The rear glass has been replaced entirely by a solid panel to accommodate the wing's mounting structure, which tells you something about how seriously the aerodynamic brief has been taken. Hood vents and additional cooling openings in the front section address the thermal management demands of prolonged racing. Vented fenders and a side exit exhaust system, replacing the quad exit arrangement that Golf R buyers have come to expect, confirm that combustion power remains central to the project, putting early speculation about electrification to rest. Volkswagen hasn't released detailed powertrain specifications yet, which is standard practice at this stage of a development program. What the company has confirmed is that the car will run all-wheel drive, a meaningful decision that distinguishes it from the front-wheel drive Golf GTI Club Sport racers Max Cruise Racing has previously campaigned at the Nürburgring. The move to four-wheel drive aligns the race car more closely with the identity of the production Golf R and reflects the demands of endurance competition at a circuit that rewards mechanical grip and stability across a wildly varied range of conditions. The choice of Max Cruise Racing as the development and competition partner is well considered. The team has established genuine credibility at the Nürburgring and has become increasingly associated with Volkswagen performance programs. Their previous Nürburgring 24 Hours entry, with a Golf GTI Club Sport running on renewable fuel, demonstrated both competitive intent and a willingness to take technically complex projects seriously. The step up to a purpose-built Golf R endurance racer is a significant escalation of that relationship, and the program carries a level of factory backing that puts it in different territory from a privateer effort wearing the right logos. Reinhold Ivens, the head of Volkswagen R, framed the Nürburgring 24 Hours exactly as you'd expect a performance division chief to frame it, as the ultimate test, the real competitive environment that separates genuine engineering from marketing theater. That framing isn't wrong. The Nordschleife is 25 kilometers of elevation changes, unpredictable weather, blind crests, and corners that punish any weakness in a car's mechanical or aerodynamic setup. Running there for 24 hours exposes things that controlled testing environments simply can't replicate. Brakes aid under sustained load, thermal management at the limits of what the cooling systems can handle, suspension geometry under the kind of cumulative stress that builds through a night session on a damp track. These are the things endurance racing at the Nürburgring actually tests, and they're legitimate engineering challenges rather than theatrical ones. The timing of the announcement lands at an interesting moment for hot hatches generally. There's been a running conversation in enthusiast communities about whether the combination of tightening emissions regulations and industry-wide electrification pressure would eventually bring the era of combustion-powered performance hatchbacks to a close. Volkswagen has been consistently clear that the Golf GTI and Golf R are not going anywhere. The EA888 turbocharged 2.0-liter engine family is being updated to comply with Euro 7 standards, which guarantees the continuation of the performance hatchback formula for at least the near to medium term. Committing to a Nürburgring endurance program in 2027 with a combustion-powered Golf R reinforces that message in the most tangible way possible. Alongside the racing program, there's been persistent and increasingly credible speculation about a limited production anniversary Golf R using the turbocharged inline 5-cylinder engine from the Audi RS3. Volkswagen hasn't confirmed this, but the timing and the broader performance focus surrounding the R division's 25th anniversary have kept the rumor alive. A 5-cylinder Golf R would be an extraordinary thing. That engine has a character completely unlike the 4-cylinder units the Golf has used in recent generations, and pairing it with the Golf R's all-wheel drive system and chassis would produce something genuinely unusual. Whether it materializes or not, the speculation itself reflects the elevated expectations that currently surround the R badge. The Golf R 24H show car will never be road legal, and Volkswagen has been careful to say that no road-going version of the race car is planned. The radical aerodynamic package and track-only engineering aren't being positioned as a preview of production hardware, but that doesn't diminish what the project represents for the broader Golf R story. Motorsport has historically done things for a brand's credibility and engineering capability that no amount of press releases or feature lists can replicate. Endurance racing specifically, where cars and teams are exposed to conditions that defeat unprepared machinery, has served as a development accelerator for performance technologies across the industry for decades. The Golf badge carries a particular weight in all of this. It's one of the most recognized hatchback nameplates in automotive history, and the R variant has represented the top of that hierarchy since the R32 arrived in 2002, with its naturally aspirated 3.2-liter V6 and Haldex 4-wheel drive. The letter R was always meant to stand for racing as much as anything else, and the intervening 20-plus years have seen the model evolve from a niche high-performance curiosity into a globally recognized performance benchmark. The current generation, with its torque vectoring system and substantially more power than earlier R models could manage, is the most capable production version yet. Taking the concept further into genuine endurance racing territory feels like a logical continuation of that trajectory, rather than a departure from it. For the R division itself, the program arrives at exactly the right moment strategically. Performance sub-brands across the industry are navigating a complicated transition, trying to maintain relevance and emotional resonance with enthusiasts while adapting to electrification pressures and regulatory constraints that are reshaping what performance actually means. A Nürburgring endurance commitment is a concrete, unambiguous statement that motorsport and driver-focused engineering remain genuinely central to what Volkswagen R is, rather than marketing language used to sell options packages. That matters more than it might seem, particularly at a moment when plenty of performance divisions are quietly repositioning themselves towards softer, more electrification-friendly identities. The competition debut is set for the 2027 race, and development work with Max Cruz Racing will continue in the interim. Technical details will emerge gradually between now and then. What's already clear from the show car and the confirmed all-wheel drive layout is that Volkswagen intends to field something genuinely competitive rather than a symbolic anniversary gesture. The Nordschleife tends to expose the difference between those two things fairly efficiently, usually somewhere around the third or fourth hour when the cars that weren't properly prepared start to show their weaknesses. Volkswagen appears to understand that, and the Golf R 24H looks like a serious answer to a serious challenge.